the story of the offseason will be what, Mike?
I think it comes in waves and it comes in phases. Aaron Rodgers' future is going to loom over everyone until we know where he's going to go and who's going to want him. Sam Darnold, another quarterback who is going to be in demand, and I don't think will be back with the Minnesota Vikings. The running back stuff from last year, it's funny. During the season, when it kind of settled in that even though you can find a running back anywhere and any place where you could, you need one in the draft, any round or undrafted, great running backs are different. And we finally figured that out. And look at what happened with Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs last year. There's no one like that this year because at some point during the season, the teams with players who were due to become free agents at that position, they acted. The Cardinals signed James Conner to an extension. The Panthers signed Chuba Hubbard to an extension. We're not going to have that same influx for other teams of great running backs. They're just not going to be out there. And I wonder if the running backs are going to be overdrafted now because people are going to convince themselves they need a great one and they're going to throw the dart when the draft rolls around to get a great one because look at what a difference a great one can make.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, Mike. The quarterback market is going to be pretty darn big because of the teams that might not get one in the draft, or they'll eventually assess the draft and say, not worth the top 10 pick. Let's go a little bit more safe on this front. So in terms of the names you just mentioned there, why do you think Sam Darnold's not going to be back in Minnesota? What gives you that
Well, Kevin
sense?
O'Connell, when he was making the rounds last Friday after being named coach of the year, he told us, and I'm sure he said this on other shows as well, Sam Darnold has earned the right to be a free agent. And that's a way of saying we're not going to use the franchise tag because we don't want to pay him $40 million. I think they'd be willing to keep him if he goes out and he exhausts his options elsewhere, decides that he'd rather come back to Minnesota for less than what he could get elsewhere, which I presume is going to be the case. But you've got teams that would love to have a guy who won 14 games last year, regardless of the 58-18 final score of the two games at the end of the season, sparked by Darnold getting an unexpected case of the yips in the Week 18 finale in Detroit, where he just started to throw helium balloons to every guy that was open. I mean, they were in position to nail down the number one seed, and it fell apart. But the Raiders would love to have that kind of problem, where they got a guy that's going to win a bunch of regular season games. And when you look around the league at the teams that are looking, I think Darnold becomes an attractive name. And there are many others out there. Before 2020, there really wasn't much of a free agent market at the starting caliber quarterback position. Something changed with Brady's free agency to Tampa Bay. And there are more teams that are willing to let the bird in the hand go and try to find someone else because you've either got a franchise quarterback or you don't. And if you have a guy in the middle, once you know that guy's not going to be top five, I think you say, number one, we're not going to overpay to keep him. And number two, we'll go back to the drawing board and scratch off the lottery ticket and see if we can find a winner that's going to make us a consistent contender at a high level.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.